What is happening? We are trying this live once again in the jungles of Saipan. I am right now in the middle of a kind of a side road, a back road that we go through when we show people around the place. Here. I'm guessing the quality of the front camera will be better. I think that's generally how it is, but it's very dark in here actually. Can I focus it out? No. But anyhow, here we are. Oh, actually, let me spread the link. Hold on. Every time I try to do a live, a friend comes. I have too many friends, too many good friends. But here, so right now, I'm just editing the forest. So we have a little pathway going here through there, this way. So I'm just making it very nice and smooth for old people, for young people, you know. There, actually, I don't even think I did Facebook. 1 second, guys. I think someone is here. Okay, but let's see. So yeah, just making edits to this path so it's easy to go through. And the uncle did a lot of sawing today. The Korean uncle did. So, and you know, I won't mention what this tree is all about, but if you ever come here, I'll explain to you how important this tree is. And part of it is on the land that we're working with. So this tree, I feel like I need a guard. I need to be a guardian for, you know, and at some point I feel like this tree is a spirit guardian for me. In the other sense, you know, on the other side of it, you know, I might be guarding it in the material world, but it is guarding me in the spiritual world. This tree, man, that tree is something else. So we're walking out onto the little path we made. Nice little tunnel. Oh, we still gotta do some saw work there. I might get in there with a chainsaw today. Let's see. But yeah, the reason why the title is The Organic Has a Difficult Time, that too, the organic has a difficult time understanding the inorganic, but also the inorganic understands the time, or has a difficult time understanding the organic. And the reason for this is that the organic sees other ways of doing things than the artificial way of doing it. We see that nature has a very, you know, symbiotic way, a very, how do you say, smooth way of doing everything. And so what man's role is really is to, you know, make edits, but to bring out what nature already has given. So what I'm doing here actually is I'm cutting down most of the tangan, or I think it's called Indonesian koa, sorry, like the Hawaiian koa. Well, this is Indonesian koa. And what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting it down about to my nipple level, because if it was any lower than that, it would be covered in grass and be very dangerous for a person to walk upon. So yeah, Indonesian koa, I'm cutting that down to make a little area here with my favorite tree, between my favorite trees, some jackfruits, a big tamarind, some cooking banana, and this big monkey pot we decided to leave. And you know, a few transplants of, you know, some banana, some avocado here and there. But point being that I had to cut down the predominant tree in this land, because I believe after the war, I could be wrong, someone can correct me, but after the war between Japan, basically the what do you call it? You know, with, you know, America and Japan, they bombed the crap out of the island, so they replanted the island with this Indonesian koa, I believe, by spraying seeds. So it was kind of like a reset event, if you will, a small reset event in Saipan. And so, again, because it's the most predominant tree, anytime we need space, we're mostly cutting that tree. And monkey pods, which Kana Tabla, this region is known for. But yeah, anyhow. That's what I'm doing over here. I'm going to quickly take you over to the Chico line that we are newly maintaining, because again, there's just so much unmaintained tree here that is covered in jungle. And you know, if you clear it one year, by the time a few months pass, you know, it's already half jungle, and by the time a year passes, it's already full jungle already, you know, with you know, thin branches still. So you got to really keep on top of it. And at the same time, I've developed this method where I don't cut the tree all, you know, all the way. I leave this tree so the roots still inhabit that area below, but you know, you can still come and trim. But again, the Korean uncle and the Korean aunt don't live here. I live here. So, you know, it's a lot easier for me to come around and do these trims, you know, just for fun as I'm walking around, you know, catching a rat in the sun, whatever it is. But, you know, quick disclaimer, you know, if I didn't have animals, or when my animals are grown enough to catch on their own, I do not want to shoot any more animals, because again, I don't eat animals, so there's no real big point for me to shoot animals. However, I see them, you know, carnivores especially, eating animals more important than eating this cat food or this dog food, which is already dead animal, but it's dead animal that's packaged in a nice way, that's presented in a very, very fine manner, or shall we say unfine manner. So I think everyone should recognize, right, that just because a meat is packaged doesn't make it better. It's still killing involved. They're still murdering, you see? So what I'm doing is I'm taking that up front. Just like the Native Americans, just like whatever tradition that used to do hunting from time to time and would actually picture the hunt before the hunt even happened. You know, they would take psychedelics and do that. What I'm doing here is I'm also in the mode of, you know, I don't want to take life, and I'm not even going to partake in that ingesting of that life. However, I have certain animals, certain pets, just like I have trees, and around the trees, I cut around other life forms. There's a certain respect to the life forms I have given my responsibility to, I suppose you could put it that way. And because of that, I believe that I must perform my responsibility in the cleanest, the most natural, and the most forgiving way. Because I personally believe that it's more forgiving when you tell nature, I took life to feed life. And I'm not going to feed on death, but I took life to feed another life that needs death to survive. And I didn't want to provide death in the form of a package of dog food or cat food. And so I do it the natural way. I do it myself. You see what I'm saying? I'm connected with the death. It's not a factory somewhere else, and you know, I can play, you know, schizophrenia because, you know, I'm far away from the deed. I'm in front of the deed until the point where my responsibility fades away to these animals. So I just wanted to explain that. I gave a little bit of a train there, but you guys understand the point I'm making. I'm bringing food to my animals really, you know, fully, wholly, you know, with the respect. And other people, they don't want to do that. And that's fine. There are some people who can't do that. They're in a region where it's impossible to do that. I'm in a very plentiful jungle where there's rats constantly trying to eat our fruit. So the reason why we got the cats was so that we wouldn't have to intervene eventually. Just like a tree, right? A cat you can look at as a moving tree, you know? We mammals are like the inverse of these trees, or animals. So these are the Chicos that I've been recently cutting all around. Look at that. It just looks like a war has been going on. And you can see back here as well. I usually machete above the chest, and then I come in and I chainsaw all the remains into small, fine matter. But anyhow, so the sun's kind of coming from that direction, coming in this way and this way, and then it'll rotate around over here, or orbit around over here, or however you want to look at it, cellular Earth, right? So as it's coming over this way, you know, these trees that were very high were all covering. So I cleared about, what, 3 meters? No, this looks more like 5 meters. 5 meters out in each direction just to give it some more light. I mean, I'm still working on this actually. I'm still working on the back trees. But so far, these Chicos are loving it. I mean, I don't know if you can see those fruit on that tree, but there was not that many fruit before. And it is just blowing up after I gave it some love and freed it from the jungle. So this is kind of what I'm talking about is there's a level of intervention, and then there's a level of intervention where you're fucking with nature. You see the difference? There is a nice trim, and then there's a shave. So a trimming sometimes helps, sometimes not, I agree. But at times, nature wants some manly intervention. Nature wants a master. Nature wants a keeper, a guard, a guardian. You see? So I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Anyhow, that's the Chico project that we're doing right now. So many days of just hacking away. Oh my gosh, I had to show you a big tree that I hacked. The thing is, I don't really like hacking big trees, but this particular tree, monkey pot, it is just abundant in this area. So I don't feel too bad making space for other trees. But yeah, once the tree gets too big, it's better just not to cut. But I just wanted to show you anyhow. So yeah, so this is more of the Chico land that I still need to work through, right? There's a Chico tree over there. We just passed like 4 Chico trees. They're massive and covered in jungle. And here it is. I actually only got to part of it, the thickest part. That took about maybe 20-30 minutes with the machete. Just bang, 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 bang. Big tree. And the funniest thing, guys, I can use it as a scaffolding to pick certain fruit. So this tree not only just gave a bunch of light to my Chicos as the sun's coming that way, towards where the tree fell, but it is also serving as a scaffolding. I'm telling you, nature is fascinating. Fascinating. And actually, if you go down this road over here, there's a breadfruit tree. There are breadfruit trees we need to free up in the jungle. So probably about 10 hours of hacking. And we can free those trees. So before, I felt life was very unfulfilling because I was living a very inorganic life. See, I think you guys have to understand that if you're not contributing to the earth, you're a parasite. You see what I'm saying? If you're not somehow making the earth a prettier place, that could be psychological. That could be, in service to others. That could be working in nature. But again, most of us are completely disconnected from nature. So we don't know how to work with it. We don't ask the question. Without the question, there is nothing. Without the question, there is no one. Without the question, there is no life. See, because one must ask the question. There must be an inquiry, because the inquiry naturally arises, whether there is one or whether there is not. So, again, the question in life goes hand in hand. But basically, the masses, most people, they ignore the question. They don't ask nature, what is it that you want from me? Why did you make me? What do you want me to do? And when that question is answered, then you can move forward or backward or left or right or wherever you were supposed to go. But until that question is asked, until you find a reason to open the door remains closed. So that's why you have to walk through. Most people, they're too scared to walk through. So this is getting too long. I think it's about time to end it. Last thing I'll show you is this area we've been mining lots of dogu, they call it here, yam. It tastes like French fries if you steam it and stick it in sesame seeds and a little bit of salt. It's like two babies put together. They're just huge. But look at this. This is such a nice area. We don't need to, because nature's already making this shade and this trellis for us. Joke of life and the irony of life is, it is you, but it is also not. And I think recognizing that fact is the thing anyone can do. Because without it,